When I think back on my time in the investment industry, it's somewhat shocking to me to think about just how much has changed in the last 20 to 30 years. The pace of that change has been fascinating, exciting, challenging, and even a little scary all at the same time. And while not all of that change has been for the good, I certainly think the good has outweighed the bad. One of the most positive developments, at least from the perspective of the investors, was the introduction of online trading platforms in the mid to late 90s. That made trading accessible to the average investor. As those platforms took off, investors benefited from easier, better access to investment options, as well as lower costs. It used to be common practice for brokers to charge upwards of 1% or more when someone simply bought or sold stock. Today, firms like Schwab, Fidelity, and others don't charge anything. This shift has allowed more investors greater access at a lower cost, and has sometimes been referred to as the democratization of investing. While those developments should clearly be viewed as progress, they've also caused changes in investor behavior or activity that hasn't been so universally positive. One of the biggest changes can be observed through the exponential growth in the number of DIY or do-it-yourself investors. Of course, just because you can do it yourself doesn't mean you should. This doesn't apply equally to every investor, of course, and clearly seems self-serving, but we believe the vast majority of investors would be far better off working with a financial advisor, and the numbers back us up on that. One such study by Vanguard estimated that advisors over long periods of time can potentially add up to or even exceed 3% to annual returns to investors. Doing it yourself doesn't mean an investor can't make money, but it does probably mean they are leaving money on the table or missing opportunities to generate better risk-adjusted returns or lower costs. Not surprisingly, Vanguard isn't the only group to have studied the topic. Russell Investments has been doing their annual Value of an Advisor study for 10 years. And it's what we plan to use as the framework and basis for this 4-part video series exploring the different ways that a financial advisor can create value for the individuals and families they work with. Yes, financial advisory services come at a cost. But as the Russell study shows, and we plan to detail, we believe advisors have the ability to create more than enough added value to offset those costs. In this series, we'll touch on 4 key value adds for investors who use professional financial advisors. Those are rebalancing, investor behavioral coaching, customized experience or the advisor as quarterback, and tax smart planning. We hope you'll find the series informative and interesting.